Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. My point of light today is to talk about the power of the human soul, the Neshama. As it says in Tanya, that the Neshama of each and every one of us is part of the essence of God. So let's talk about this for a moment. Many of us, when we think about spiritual or celestial beings, we usually think about angels. Angels are spiritual beings that we admire, even though we cannot see them, but we feel them. And we know that they are totally focused on God and they're mission oriented. And an angel actually is called an emissary of God. That's why the Torah tells us about messages that God sent to the prophets or to the Jewish people or to Abraham for that matter, or through angels. Yet the truth to be known that the spiritual stature of angels pales when it's compared to the spirituality and holiness of the human soul. The human soul is the essence of God. Chelek elikam imal mamish. It's a part of the very essence of God. And when the human soul is involved in a bond with God, like studying God's holy Torah or fulfilling its mitzvahs, the radiation that comes out, the spiritual radiation that emanates from the human soul is so strong that if an angel was there, the angel would figuratively be burnt up. And that is why, as much as we admire angels and we think angels is the highest celestial being, the truth is the opposite, that the angels actually admire the human being. And it's actually connected to the holiday of Shavuot that we will be celebrating next week. The Talmud in the Tractate of Shabbos says that at the time when the children of Israel prefaced Na'aseh L'Nishma, that their commitment to God was in such a way that they will do what the Torah says. In other words, they will accept the Torah unconditionally and fulfill its commandments, and then they will hear and listen to the meaning. The angels were so inspired that they descended from heaven with two crowns for every soul of Israel. And one crown was for Nasa, and the other crown was for Nishma. In other words, one crown was for the commitment of doing, and the other crown was for the commitment of studying. So the next time you do a mitzvah, or the next time you pray, or the next time you are involved in Torah study, realize the preciousness of this moment, that millions and perhaps billions or even more, trillions of angels are waiting for this moment because they receive their high and they become elevated through the action of the human soul. So even though we think of the angel as a celestial being and it cannot be seen, it's still more materialistic, according to Nachmanides' teaching, than the human soul. The human soul is pure fire, pure energy. Only when it descends into the body does it actually manifest itself in this world. But when the soul is without the body, it stands at a much higher level than the soul. Yet, when the soul actually is involved in Torah study through the body, it reaches even a higher level. And it reaches the level that it's fulfilling Hashem's command, and it fills the world with holiness. And the angels know that. And as I mentioned before, the angels are standing by as if we are in this big football stadium and we're about to do this pass that will create a touchdown and everything will erupt with tremendous joy and energy. That is how the stadium filled with angels erupts when we do a mitzvah. And God forbid the other way, if we don't do the mitzvah or if we fail, there's disappointment. So I'm not saying that we need to do it for the angels, but it just gives us an example and illustrates the point of how holy the human soul is. And that's why Shlomo HaMelech in Mishlei in the book of Proverbs says that the soul of God, the soul of man is the candle of God. The soul, which is the human soul, is actually the candle that illuminates the world and radiates and brings spirituality to it. So let's hope in our preparation for Shavuos that we take this message to heart. We immerse ourselves in Torah study, and we are more meticulous in our keeping of the mitzvahs. And yes, we think about those angels and give them a little bit of a treat as well through our positive actions. Thank you.